Welcome back to ImaSoAngry! Brand new video with Elias and Henry! What do you guys have for today? And why are you playing this deck still in this new format with the brand new card like Soul and the funny bird shits?
You are my friend. I don't hear you.
Welcome to Gaming Universe.
Thank you so much!
What's going on?
So the deck is called Mystery Machines.
Yeah?
And it features Infinitrack, MACHINA, and Trains. And I think it has like a really good sword soul. Like
Really good?
All of the mid-range decks just automatically lose to our deck.
Oh shit.
So like the reason why like we hop back on it is because like the meta is like less concentrated with Drytron and Dragon Link, things like that. Those are the decks that like, you know, you have a possibility of losing the game.
Yeah.
When they open broken. But against Sword Soul, like I would say it's like 65-35 like for game one. And then games 2 and 3 when you have like when you're sided, I think it's like an 80-20 matchup. Like,
Okay.
It's very, very in your favor. So I think if you're going to like a 9-round tournament and you're gonna expect like 5 to 6 Sword Soul and like 2 to 3 Thunderees, I think that this is the best choice you can play.
And what do you think, Elias?
Now that what's his name? Phoenix Enforcer.
Yeah.
In the format too, like he pops a card, so like people try to pop your monsters to stop you from extending. So like they kind of like lock themselves into like playing the game, and like they force themselves to play slower by summoning Phoenix Enforcer. So our deck thrives off of that game state. So like if they're gonna pop one of our monsters or whatever, we have cards like Citadel and like protection effects. So like once we get into the grind game, the game is so easy. They're like there.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's a really good choice, especially right now that there's like less strikes on it.
Less chance of auto lose. Yeah. So let's get into the deck profile.
Okay,
This is the macro of it. See the whole deck? Whoa.
So alright, so first of all we have our starter cards. So we have 3 Infinitrack Harvester, 2 Metal Cruncher, 3 Heavy Forward, and 3 Redeployment. So like all of these cards essentially get you to your 1-card combo. Harvester basically by itself, you know, it gets you a draw 2, gets your cards in rotation, fills your graveyard, and you know you can draw into like Gozen, draw into droplets, whatever. And then basically the name of the game, the play style is to survive. So if you survive, you give yourself probably the best setup from turn 3, right? So like if you set up your Dora against Sword Soul, they have like no card that they in their main deck or in their extra deck to deal with it. So if you put 4,000 unaffected, the only way they deal with it is if they have like Fleur plus a pop. Because they pop, you chain, and if you have Goliath underneath that Dora, like it's impossible.
Yeah, you can't destroy it. Yeah.
So yeah, so basically your 1-card combo gets you to that game state pretty much. You need to open like any extender to get to Dora specifically. So play 3 Harvester. Metal Cruncher pretty much does the same thing, but what Metal Cruncher incorporates is variance, which is really nice. So you give yourself the ability to get lucky. So if you already open like Heavy Forward with Metal Cruncher, you can reveal a Train or a Fortress, and you want to hit the Fortress because if you hit the Fortress, you can search Harvester with this, and then you give yourself the Redeployment combo, which is basically you rip a card from their hand and then you do your combo.
Okay.
So, and if you just get a Train, then you just end on Dora. So it's really good.
Another thing with Metal Cruncher, for people that kind of play the deck, people play 3 Metal Crunchers. Like most places you see, they play 3 Metal Cruncher, but we reduced it to 2 just because it gets redundant after a while. Like you don't want to see all monsters, you don't want to see all cards in your hand that do the same thing. You want to see your starter, and then you want to see utility cards.
Yes.
Especially after you do your combo, like you do your 1-card combo, which just draws you 2 cards. The combo is only as good as the card that you draw. So like, if you're drawn to more monsters or more ways to like get into monsters, like Heavy Forward or like Harvesters or Dozers, like those cards do nothing for you. So this was like one thing that you could reduce to 2 to increase the utility cards and like, still keep like healthy consistency in the deck.
Makes sense. I like it.
So then Redeployment, probably the craziest starter. You pitch a card, you search Metal Cruncher and Fortress, and that is your entire combo. You reveal Harvester off your Metal Cruncher, you go enter black here, you rip a card from your opponent's hand, so at that point, like if they have Nibiru, they have to Nibiru there pretty much. And then you get your Dozer, you start playing the game, and you basically rip a card from your opponent, and you give yourself like 3 cards.
Ooh.
So it's like a difference in 5 cards advantage. Which against Sword Soul, it's a big deal because they have to open up like 2 cards to do their combo.
Yep.
They have to open like a strike or something crazy to like, you know. So it's a big deal against Sword Soul. So that's the starters.
Okay.
And then we have a superior extenders. So extenders that are searchable. So we have 2 Dozer.
Yep.
Obviously, this card is cracked. It lets you summon one from your deck. This Tunneler draws 2 cards. Trencher, Reborn. It's like your skeleton. We just play 1 now because the hands that you lose are the hands that you draw too many bricks, like high-level monsters. Basically, this entire row.
Yeah.
If you draw like too many of these, then it's hard to play. Which I try to play cards to counteract that, but we still want to reduce our chances of seeing them.
Yep.
But we also play cards in the extra deck like Dingersu to attach it. We have Overdrive to shuffle it back. We have ways to get to Overdrive. So we have more if we need it. Then we play 1 of each of the trains. You really don't need more. You can play like 2 of one of them.
Yeah.
But again, the hands that you lose are the hands that you just draw too many. So just 1 of each. This one pops, this one searches, adds back at the end phase rather. Fortress, really good in the grind game. It's good against like Eldlick, things that try to grind, any deck that tries to grind, Blunderies. This is a very good card. It doesn't start a chain to summon itself. It's very good. And then these 2 are like other extenders. So like the way to finish the game is you want to end on Anger Knuckle in Graveyard, which is a link 2, and you want to add, you want to have this card in your hand, which you will because you're going to add it back off your bullet. So every single turn 3, you should have this in your hand with Anger Knuckle and Grave. You reborn Anger Knuckle, you can special this, turn it into a Goliath, use River Stormer to reborn itself, detach, the Goliath reattaches, detach the Goliath, search Stampede, and Stampede resummons the bullet, and then you go into your OTK.
Okay.
So it's very important. So those are the superior extenders. Then we have additional extenders. The best card in the deck. Then we have Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion. So these are the 2 cards that we play different.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play these, but I like these because I try to focus on binary decisions that punish your opponent. So, like in a format where everyone's summoning an Enforcer, most of the times, the correct thing to do is to pop your normal summons. Because you're gonna get, if you normal summon Harvester, you get Dozer in hand. This has to tribute something. So if they Enforcer pop the Harvester, you have nothing to tribute. But if they pop this and you open with a Fusion, then you summon a body and then you reveal your Dozer. So it like basically makes their Enforcer useless.
Yeah.
So that's why I like playing these cards. They do nothing by themselves, but like past turn 0, it can be really good. Or even if they like imperm you at the wrong time or mash you, it can be good. It's nothing like game breaking, but it forces your opponent to make weird decisions with their Enforcer.
Yep.
I play 3 imperm instead of, well, these 2. The difference in my list is I don't play these 2 and I play imperm. I just really like imperm. Like if you could see, like we play no hand traps whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like I just like imperm. If I were to play hand trap, I'd play imperm because you could draw for turn. It's good going into an established board. It's like okay right now. It's mediocre, and it's like it's okay if you go first and it's okay if you go second.
Yeah,
So,
both
like,
ways.
It's a card that I really like for game 1. Yeah, it's nothing crazy, just imperm. And then urgent schedule at 3. I want to point out that like this is by far one of the most important cards in the deck, and it should be at 3.
Yeah.
It could extend your combos as well as be a starter if you don't open combo going second, and especially for game 1, it's a 50-50 chance of like going first, right? So like when you sit down at the table, you know, round 1 against your opponent, you roll the dice. It's a 50-50 shot of going first or second. So like, why would you not play this card if it's like a bomb card going second? It's a 1-card full combo. Going first, there's a lot of cards that could utilize urgent schedule to do full combo.
Yes.
There's like basic combos, like everyone knows like the draw 2 combos and stuff like that, but a lot of times you don't even have to do that. Like you could just use urgent schedule to for sure always end on an Adora, which definitely comes up.
And this is another train going first, right? So like if you draw your non-instant cards, like say you open with Gozen, there's no reason for you to draw 2 cards because like what are you gonna draw into another Gozen? Like,
Yeah.
Like once you have your disruption, the draw 2 should be your turn 3 play. Your turn 1 play, if you open like, say you open like Urgent, Gozen, or like Book of Moon or Droplets plus Harvester, you already have your disruption. You just send Urgent Schedule for cost with Anger Knuckle, which forces you to forego the Ballista to get you to that point. So you need to go right into Anger Knuckle, tribute the Anger Knuckle, send this to the graveyard, summon Anger Knuckle back, and this searches your missing level 10. So that's how you get to that point, but it just makes you have to forego the draw 2. If you draw Ready Fusion, Instant Fusion, then you can also draw 2. But yeah, so Urgent, good turn 1, good turn 1. Reasoning, this is good because we're not playing any hand traps.
Yep.
we're trying to maximize our way to get into our play. Obviously, most people like game 1, if they don't know what you're playing, they call 1 or 4, which we're only playing 2 level 4s. We're not playing any level 1s. So it should resolve. Most times you hit this, which is a level 9, which is like an obscurity in levels. And then we play 1 reborn to get to the same place, trying to extend. And then for those are additional extenders and reactive extenders, we play 2 Lord of the Heavenly Prisons.
Okay, the rock dude.
So this card is like an honorary train card. I really like this card in testing so far. It's cool. So the reason why this card is good is it doesn't have to be revealed to special summon itself. You just have to set a card and activate it to special summon it. So if you start your turn with like heavy forward and this, you just set heavy forward, activate heavy forward, special this, search your harvester, and then that's your second train basically.
Okay, nice.
So it's another level 10 extender going first, and then if you draw it off your turn, at which point you're already locked into Orc Machine, so you can't summon this, but you could just reveal it, and then if you have any back row, or if your opponent has back row, and they set a card and activate it, you can summon this when it's revealed, and you can set like urgent schedule, you can set droplets, you can set, well I guess Gozen's not the best example, but you can set Gozen.
Yeah.
You can set Pokemon post-siding, you can search any of your side deck cards.
Nice.
So it's like in the side deck, we play one of all of our cards, or almost all of our cards, and we make our deck like Sky Strikers. So you can set like a utility card, and then just blow them out with it. You know,
Wow.
Like torrential, IDP, whatever you want. So,
That's big brain.
yeah, this card is good in theory. The only card it conflicts with is Gozen match, but like if you have one of them, you should be ahead. So, and then the last card is Overdrive. So Overdrive is you summon one from your deck, MACHINA, and then the second effect is you can shuffle back 3 and draw 1. So this could also set it from the deck, and then you have your redeployments, and you know you have ways to get to it, so it's good. And then for those are reactive extenders. These are reactive lowering cards. So these are 3 droplets, 2 Book of Moon. Basically, you want to stop your opponent from getting over your Dora. So like most players, like Fire Brigade, their only way of getting over Dora is going access code. So you can just drop with the access code. They have no way of getting over your Dora. Book of Moon, if they try to go battle phase with the these monsters, you stop them from going Zeus. Same thing. So it just allows you to get to this point where you know you can bend but you can't break. So these cards prevent you from breaking basically. And then they're also good going second.
Yep.
One tactic, we never want to draw some multiples because every card is so important. You can never afford to draw too many of a card that's unnecessary. So you don't need this card to play, but if you draw it at 1, it's good.
I just wanted to say, I wanted to point out that like these cards, so Monster Reborn, Reasoning, Tactics, these cards all let you play through like disruption. So everyone's playing hand traps, everyone's playing like negates or whatever. So seeing these cards allow you to play through disruption, as well as being unique in their own way. So they all have like different effects that could be good in different points in the game. Also, Book of Moon is just kind of like a meta call right now. Like everyone's playing Imperm. There's Veilers. There's Sword Soul. The
Synchro.
The Synchro that targets the negate. So you get like normal summon Harvester, they target the negate, Book of Moon it, search Dozer, and then still continue the combo.
That's nice.
Very, very versatile. And like going first, you could set it, pass, your opponents always try to go Zeus. If you end on Dora, like they want to go Zeus. So you can just like start stuff in battle phase, Book of Moon and monster. Like the game is pretty done from there. Same thing with droplets. You can chain it to your normal summon. In general, just allows you to play the game as well as being unique in their own way.
Okay.
Very, very, very solid picks for like game 1. And then
I like 'em.
post sighting, you get to like change your deck to like really going first or like really going second.
No, there's a lot of things you can do with this. Like if you're under Gozen and this is on the field, you can put you in your own monster. You can negates. There's so many things you can do.
Very versatile.
Very versatile. So 1 talent, 2 Gozen. So this is slightly better than Rivalry now because of Sword Soul. They're mostly all worms. Although Elias was mentioning that a lot of their extra deck is non-worms, so you can play Rivalry. Like you play 2 and 1.
Well, I play 2 Gozen and then I side Rivalry. But like, I don't know, just in general, I want to have floodgates for sure.
Yeah.
Gozen's the best one right now.
Yeah, so these are proactive lowering cards. So these are cards that are actively like stopping our opponent from playing the game, which it slows them down to the point where they can't OTK us, which means we OTK them. Yeah. And then bombs. We just play 1 bomb right now. Citadel. So one thing to note is that we had more bombs before. We had terraforming, switchyard, and mine. So we cut those cards because Phoenix's Enforcer is in the format.
Oh yeah.
And we already play like 3 heavy forward. So we didn't want to play spells that lost to pops, basically, like Enforcer. So it made sense to kind of cut them down a little bit and play more cards like Book of Moon that they can't really react to in the same chain link. So Yeah, it's pretty good. But this is like why the deck is good. I feel like you play through Enforcer so well, and you play through the Sword Soul trap, so it's pretty good in the grind game. And then the one engine requirement is box.
Yep.
So yeah, one Garnet in the entire deck. Pretty much our entire deck is Brilliant Fusion. So that's the main deck.
Sounds good. How many cards? 40?
40 cards. Yep.
Perfect, perfect.
All right, so for the extra deck,
Yep.
I play one fusion. So this is Cybersaurus, pretty much like the best target for Ready Fusion, Instant Fusion.
Yep.
It's a level 5. Basically, if you get to the point where you get hand trapped in your Harvester, or if you get to the point where your Harvester leaves the field, so sometimes your normal cell can be really important if you don't open like one of your many extenders or urgent schedule. Sometimes it gets you there. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but it can convert losses into wins. So
Yep.
you play it. If you don't play this, you play Clipboard Genius.
Clipboard Genius?
Yeah.
Oh, the negate guy, right? It
Yeah,
can be unaffected by
because,
itself.
there are some times where you put on monsters that like are meaningless, like Urgent Schedule against Sword Soul, and they're like, all right, they have their monster negate with the synchro. So you go into Genius, negate like your own heavy forward, or negate a card that's not already negated, and you negate their synchro. They can't really do anything to it, and then it's also unaffected by traps, so they can't pop it with the trap. So it's pretty good. Also, against Appaloosa, against Tri Brigade, it's unaffected by Link monsters.
Yeah.
So if they try to negate it with Appaloosa, it's unaffected.
Nope.
So it's negated. So Clipboard Genius is very good. It comes up once every locals for me, but so does Cybersaurus. It's really a toss-up. So whatever you want to play. Then mandatory cards. Pretty much the rest of the extra deck is all mandatory.
Oh, the Crane. I know this card.
So,
I know the Crane.
3 Goliath. The Crane attaches to Zeus. So basically, you load up your Zeus's, makes it can't destroyed by a card effect, and it also gives it extra materials. You get extra board wipes, and it puts monsters in grave for your tunneling. Then you play your Searcher, your Box Searcher,
Box
with
Searcher.
Ballista. Also, you can pop a spell or trap, make attack 0. It's pretty good for OTKs. And then one double-headed Anger Knuckle. So it's just reborn your level 10s, gets you into your train plays. Pretty good.
Your go-to card.
Yep. And then your rank 5 River Stormer card's crazy. 1 Dingirsu. So if you're playing 1 Trencher, I think that now you have to play Dingirsu just because it's a non-targeting spot removal. It sends Enforcer to the graveyard. It sends Dragoon to the graveyard. So it's pretty good, and it attaches your Tunneler or your Trencher.
Okay.
So it allows you to
Protection.
get a second wind. And then you play 1 Enter Blathnier. Really good. Non-target banishing cards. Another out to Dragoon, Phoenix Enforcer. But it's also there for the hand rip. Turn 1. 1 Earth Slicer. Pop through back row. Really good card.
This card's crazy.
Card's really good.
This card's crazy.
You can pop your own cards. Summon Citadel from the graveyard. Then we play 2. Number 81. Nummer 80. Eins und 80 Super Canon.
Yeah, whole deck is all like foreign language stuff.
Yeah. 1 Super Rail Cannon. So this one you can burn in time, but it's also like the second part of your OTK. So you're gonna burn 2,000, attack for 6, and then 1 Leave to attack for game, and then of course Zeus. Would you use the second effect of Zeus a lot? If another card gets destroyed, which you can ram into something, you can attach 1 card from your deck. So you can attach. You can attach an Overdrive.
Nice.
Overdrive, and then Overdrive you detach, and then you shuffle back all your machines. So
That's perfect.
So that's the main and extra deck. And we can show like a couple cards from the side deck that I think are mandatory.
Okay.
So
There it is.
only 2 cards that I think you should be playing are 2 to 3 copies of Gizmic Uka. So this card says if a monster is special from the main deck, which keep in mind you summon from the main deck every game, you can special summon this, and then if your opponent has a monster, you can target one of them and special summon 1 from your deck that has matching attack and defense with the same attribute as that. So against Sword Soul, they always summon from the deck while they have Monk on the field. So you special summon this. When they activate the one that summons from the deck, which one is that? Ashuna?
Oh,
Ashuna? The Tenyi guy. Is there one that summons from the deck?
Ashuna, yeah.
So they always have Ashuna, and they summon from the deck while they have Monk. So you special this, you target it, you special another one. So now every time they summon for the rest of the turn, they take 600 damage.
Okay.
You can also, against light targets, you can summon the Iris Sword Soul, which is another card you can play.
Okay, that's the one of 3 effects, right?
3 effects.
Yeah.
And then against dark decks, if you're, I don't know, if Heart comes back, I don't know, is there a deck that summons darks? Dragons. You can summon, I don't know where it is, but you can summon this card, right? So it has 3,000, 3,000.
A rock dude, okay.
So, no, but if they go Quick Launch or Tracer or whatever, you can summon this. And it's just another level 10 to start your turn. So, like, it doesn't seem like much, but, like, starting your turn with two big bodies that can ram over things.
Yeah.
Like this by itself has enough attack to attack over enforcement. So it you force your opponent to make terrible plays. Like they have to use their Boro load negates early, they have to use their pop early, and then the last card that you side is Jizakir, just because it's searchable off urgent schedule, and it's another level 10. So when post siding, you're putting more level 10s into your deck.
Yep.
I wanted to say about this. If you guys remember, like during like Zoo format, everyone was playing. Was it Slumber? Like
Slumber, yep.
With the kaijus with zoos, right?
Yeah.
So like there was a 2-card combo that they had, so they had to open Slumber and like I think it was like either Barrage or Rat, and like it was like 9 cards that they had to open.
Yeah.
And so Slumber and that card became like a 2-card OTK, which is crazy. Like they use those 2 cards to try to OTK you, which sometimes it could happen, and then if it doesn't work out, they can still like play the game. So like this deck has the same exact like thing. So like if you open up Slumber and any starter, like let's say Slumber and Harvester,
Yeah.
you could break their whole board, summon, give yourself the Jisakuru and give them like a Gamma
Whatever.
Seal,
Yep.
and then you can summon your Harvester, do your combo, search Dare Crane, summon Dare Crane, go into Gustav, pop their Kaiju, and then go into Libe, attack for game. So then like you also search like all your cards during the whole combo. So like even if it doesn't work out, which like most of the times it won't, but it will bait like almost everything, and then you'll start playing the game after you did all that.
Okay.
And then on the following turn, you'll have Slumber in Graveyard, which you can banish and then search another Kaiju. It's pretty good.
Also, you can add it back with Bull at the end phase because this can target any machine.
Oh, any machine.
So
Okay.
if you kaiju them, you destroy the kaiju. You can add it back and kaiju them again. It's pretty good. So anyway, that's the deck pretty much. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Benani Lounge, sponsoring us. Go to tournaments, things like that. And we also have a new website up called BenaniLounge.com, and you can check it out. We're gonna be selling cards. We're gonna be giving discounts away. So it's gonna be a very cool place to buy cards. And check out our coaching program in the link below.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, guys. Arrivederci. You! Yeah, you! If you like this video, give it a thumbs up! And for the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Products and tournaments in New York City, come to Gaming Universe!
Yeah!
No English!